I'm Becky.
When people are taking their own lives in dreadful distress, I've lost 27 of my friends to the WCA. They've taken their own lives, and there's people out there that don't know what's going on, and I think it's disgusting that MPs voting a law that we can't actually use our voices with a megaphone. So where's the right to protest? Because that is the right to protest. You didn't stop people having speeches down there for the NHS demo, did you? There was a huge.
But we're just trying to reach a compromise and what we can do. But if you're saying, I mean, you are an MP.
No.
They're members of Parliament.
Yeah. So they're not going to be breaking the law.
But we're here to talk to people about the issues of the day.
Yeah, but they'd like to be able to. People who've come, some of them from a long distance, would like to be able to hear what you're going to do about standing up in Parliament about these PIP changes, because there are many people here. These changes are already affected, who've lost their mobility, who haven't got any points for managing their conditions. This is going to devastate people's lives, and we'd like to know what you're going to do as MPs about opposing this in Parliament, because this comes in on the 13th of March, and it's going to have devastating consequences. And it is about time our representative members of Parliament actually stood up and be counted and actually said to the Tory MPs, enough is enough. People are dying over these cuts, and we're not hearing that said enough.
Steve Topple from the Canary. You are aware of the UN report which stated there were grave and systematic violations of disabled people's human rights in this country, yes?
Yes, I certainly am, and the reason that we're here today is in order to listen to what people have got to say. I'm sad that people think that the opposition hasn't been there in the House of Commons, because believe you me, the Labour Party have been extremely thorough in this, led by Abrahams, the Shadow Secretary of State. Time and time again, PIP is the centre of everything that we're actually addressing at this time. That's why we're out here today. There's a large number of Labour MPs here as well, and we're actually here to listen. I would hope that some Tory MPs might actually turn out and listen to what's to be said as well. But what we want to do is make sure that we are understanding the message very clearly. We do understand the messages, and we want to get in there and be able to represent them as well. Thank you.
For sure. The question has to be asked though. Debbie Abrahams in the meeting in Parliament in February said she would be chairing a debate about the UN report, and she promised that would be happening. When is that debate happening? Because we still haven't heard.
Well, I don't know when that's happening.
So you don't know when it's happening?
You promised that in November. You promised to debate on the UN report.
Well, that may well be the case, but I personally, I'm a single MP. I'm the Shadow Pensions Minister, and it's something that we do discuss within our team. And if these promises have been made by Debbie Abrahams, I'm sure she'll fulfil them. And for the record, I will speak with Debbie about that and find out when she's going to do it.
We have over 80% of claimants.
Excuse me, did you want to listen to the response to
We
that?
have over 80% of claimants who go through personal independence payments assessments are being denied their support, with blatant lies put on assessment reports, medical information from their doctors not taken into account, right? We have had over 300,000 disabled people who have lost their mobility cars, who can't even now continue to work. They're imprisoned at home. Where is this right? It is completely and utterly wrong. And we are entitled to be angry, because we are being hit time and time and time again. And enough is enough is enough. If we take to the streets in anger, our MPs who vote in these cuts should know why we're angry, know why people are losing their lives, because this is ideological policy designed to remove support, designed so we have nothing, and then we're vilified in the media. When you have a Tory councillor who actually disabled people who are out on that NHS demo on Saturday, they should be sacked. That's conduct unbecoming a public office. Not only that, it's inciting hate crime. We are victims of hate crime. I've been punched on a bus because I have a disability. Is that right? I've been kicked. I know somebody who's pushed off on a track from a train station and left to die. Where is that right? Because of the right-wing media and the crap the Tory government are coming out with. We're human beings first and foremost. We're human beings. We're not second-class citizens. We are human beings. We are not dirt. We are not rubbish. We are human beings. And we will fight for our rights to the last person here. When we're losing our friends, when they're threatening to take their own lives because of these cuts, something is dreadfully wrong. These assessments are not working. they're actually causing more harm than they're solving. And when the appeals rate is high for success, there's something wrong. But now the government are going to put the appeal service online to deny us justice. We are being denied justice every day. We're being denied healthcare, the right to higher education with cuts to students' disability pay allowance. This has got to stop. We want a government who's going to stand up for us. But if not, change happens out on the street. Debate takes place out on the street. And that's what we're going to have now. And there are people here who've lost their mobility because they've got mental health issues. They're here right now. And you need to speak to them and see how they feel about losing their mobility. They are on a coal to kill as many of us as possible. That is what this is about. It is about, they have got blood on their hands, that government in there, and you want to tell them, we are coming for them. If none of this public are listening to what we have to say, well, it's about time somebody did, because we're fed up on social media of MPs, Tory MPs and Tory councillors calling us scroungers and calling us worse and whatnots, because that needs to be challenged and stopped. And I'm glad the Tory councillor removed her Twitter account, because when she's been on the receiving end of hate crime, which we have for remarks like that, then she needs to get back to us. And I hope she loses her job, because any public official who calls us worse than rubbish needs to be taken into account. And to those of you who've already lost your mobility of PIP, let the MPs hear how that's affected you. Let them hear how it's distressed you. Let them hear how the assessments have traumatised you. Let them hear about you being put under the home treatment team because of it. They need to hear this, and then they need to go across to Damien Green and tell them what these assessments are doing to us. The distress it's causing us. I was under home treatment team for a month, just waiting for that brown envelope, and the distress it's caused me already. And I'll tell you something, when this government needs to be put in the dock for the deaths of disabled people, but not only that, they need to be in the dock for the grave and systematic human rights violations towards disabled people. And we will not stop until we get that to happen.
I had one of Damien Green's constituents on the phone the other day. He's a 60-year-old ex-serviceman. He phoned up at us and he said, I cannot afford to travel from Ashford to Canterbury to get to my assessment. Can you send me a rail warrant? They ignored his letter, and then he got another brown envelope saying that his claim had been closed because he did not attend. And he was saying to me, what have I done wrong? I have fought for this country. And I said to him, well, you could try writing to your MP, but your MP is responsible for this mess.
You promised in February that you were looking at a debate about the UN report which stipulated grave and systematic violations of disabled people's human rights. You promised this in Parliament. I was sitting there. When is this debate coming? Because we're still waiting.
The application is in. Obviously it's not my decision, but it's obviously an incredibly important issue.
And what have you got to say about PIP cuts? What's Labour's stance, please?
Well, we laid down an EDM to annul the regulations. We hope that as many MPs as possible from all parties will join us and sign that. So this is the way that we get them annulled. There's also a petition on our website, so please get the message through to your MPs. This is the way that we can stop them. They have to be stopped. The way that they were sneaked through is absolutely outrageous, and disabled people, people with chronic mental health conditions, they need this support. It's absolutely outrageous what the government's doing, so please help us.
And we really would like the Tory government to stop killing us off. I know. We're just going to have to agree to disagree. No more deaths from benefit cuts! 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 No more deaths from benefit cuts!
And complain, say why? These people have to die because they didn't.
disgraceful that the Tory government are keeping on doing it, knowing these numbers. It's their numbers. It's what they've put on their websites under gov.co.uk, whatever it is, that they've put those numbers. This isn't numbers that we are making up. They're stating how many deaths have happened. Murder. It's disgusting. It is murder. And they're not stopping us.
We all know someone. It can happen to any of us. We must support each other. This is why they're getting away with it. We mustn't be divided. We've got to keep coming together.
Paula, can I just say?
They died because of this government.
Because you know what, people like me have their benefits stopped because our disabilities aren't visible enough. So do you know what, today we're making sure that we're being visible so they can see how this is affecting us.
Thank you. Do you think they care? Because they'll stand at that dispatch box tomorrow and make more cuts.
This little bit of disruption is nothing in comparison to what's been done to us. So you can ask all you want. We're not moving.
We're not moving.
Phoned me from Petswood Station, totally distressed. Said I've got nothing to live for. They've taken my money away. She turned around and said the last ever words to me were, "Tell my children I love them." There was a massive scream and a massive bang. She jumped in front of a train. You tell her kids that. David Cameron didn't care, Theresa May doesn't give a shit.
When you're hearing
They are guilty of raising systematic human rights to stop.
No more deaths from Tory cops! No more deaths from Tory cops!
Well done, all of you! Thank you! You are legends! We will be back!
Yes,
You did a great job! We still have a banner!